For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best business building strategies to keep you thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, episode number 10. We made it to double digits. On today's show, we're going to look at 10 different ideas for you to create a massive degree of separation to win every listing. That's the game. So let's jump right into the list. Number 1, pre-qualify all decision makers. Now, let me ask you a question. If you truly are committed to win every listing appointment you go on, do you put yourself in the situation where you only talk to one of the decision makers? Has there ever been a time in your career where you only talked to one and ended up not getting the listing because you didn't talk to the spouse or the other decision maker? That's the cardinal sin. That's a no-no. You want to make sure you talk to everybody that's involved. And the big question is that value elicitation question. What's important to you about the agent you choose to represent you? What's important to you about the agent you choose to represent you? That value elicitation question is going to get all of their values. Essentially, they're going to answer the question, hey, when you show up, will you sell me this way? It's that good. It's that powerful. That's number 1. Number 2, you want to tailor your marketing proposal, obviously, to their needs. So you're pre-qualifying up here to find out what's important to them. What are their expectations? What are their desires? Do they want lots of print? Do they want online? Do they not care about any of that stuff and they just want the result? You have to find out exactly what's important to them and then tailor make that marketing proposal to match their needs and their criteria. So we got to get a little less boilerplate and get a lot more customized. Number 3, you want to shoot a coming soon video, ideally in front of the house, and then mail it to you. Remember Springs, S-P-R-E-E-N-G-S? That's that really cool little company where you can buy a box, right? And you can put all your materials inside it, and when they open up the box, there's a video screen. I like the really inexpensive ones. It's just the card where you open it up and there's your video playing. You've seen these before, but again, it's a degree of separation. It's a way to have you stand out amongst the competition. If everyone writes a handwritten note and you go stand in front of their house and say, hi, I'm Tom Ferry with Banana Real Estate. This beautiful, charming 3-bedroom, 2-bath colonial right here at the corner of Humma Humma and Nunna Nunna is going to be on the market coming soon in the next 2 weeks. And as you know, with homes in this community, they sell very quickly with lots of interested parties. So this property is coming on the market in 2 weeks. If you want advance access, etc., etc., you got the idea, right? You record this coming soon video, and with your marketing proposal, you put that card on the top of the marketing proposal, your pre-listing package, and that's a major game changer. Then, number 4, you want to create, now we do this a lot in the high end with our clients. I think you should be doing it with every client. You're going to create an avatar, right? The ideal client, the ideal buyer for this home. So when you're presenting to the customer and inside your marketing proposal, you can show them that you do things differently from everybody else in the market. For example, I'm going to go in and say, well, the ideal buyer for this home is probably a newlywed couple. Maybe they've got a child, maybe a child on the way. They're buying this 3-bedroom, 2-bath colonial in the move-up part of town out of a condo as an example. That person on Facebook in my marketplace, there's 7,500 of them, or there's 15,000 of them right here in our local marketplace. And you can then say to Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I know the exact type of buyer because I've created an avatar based on who they are, and I've already done some research on Facebook to let you know there's 31,000 of them, and the moment you list your home with me tonight, my marketing team and I are going to go back and run very specific strategic ads directly to them, driving them in their native world, Facebook, right back to your home. Is that the kind of marketing you're looking for? Boom, shakalaka. You with me? We're only on number 4. I'm getting a little excited. Look at number 5. Here we go. Number 5, be on time, be early, and ultimately be in the right state. So again, has there ever been a time where you showed up on a listing appointment and you were driving in your car and you're totally late and you finally show up and you're like, okay, do I look okay? Ding dong. Is that the kind of state that you want your brain surgeon to show up in, your attorney to show up in? I certainly don't want my real estate professional to show up that way. I want you to show up with a swagger, with great energy, feeling good, having reviewed everything inside your pre-qualification to know what my needs are. So you show up entirely for me, on time, ideally early, and in the right physical and emotional state to be of service, to help me as the homeowner achieve my goals. You know what I'm talking about. Number 6, present. Now this is key, ready? Presenting your marketing, your track record, and your reviews first. Now try on this little script. If I want to create a degree of separation, everybody wants to know one thing from you. What's the value of my house? And then how are you going to get there through marketing? We believe you start with your marketing plan, your track record, your proof of success, and then all of your reviews on whichever sites you use to basically say, this is how we do it better and more, and here's the numbers, here's the data, here's the stats, online, offline, and all those great things with check closes along the way. Can you see that this is the kind of marketing that's ultimately going to attract the right number of buyers to create the bidding war opportunity you desire, Mr. and Mrs. Seller? Of course you do. When they say yes, you know what happened. They just said yes to you. They said yes to listing. Then you show them your track record. See, we've sold so many homes already in this area, myself, my team, our group, our company, etc. Social proof, always good. And then reviews. Here's what other people are saying. Now, of course, we know what they want to do. They want to talk about price. And one of the greatest lines you could ever say is, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I know you guys want me to get to price, but understand, you're hiring me to market and negotiate the best possible transaction for you. You're hiring me to market your property to expose it to the largest number of potential right buyers and agents that are working with those buyers. So that's why you're hiring me tonight. If I wanted, I could line up 1,000 agents outside your door. And because we all have access to the same multiple listing service data, we're all going to present a price pretty much between 1 to 2 data points. So it's important tonight that as you're selecting a real estate professional, you're choosing the person that you believe could market your home to the biggest number of potential buyers. Does that make sense? And they, of course, are going to say yes. You take them through presenting marketing, track record, reviews, and you know what you've now done? You've lathered them up to let you know you do so much more than everybody else. Then, when you do go to price, you've probably seen a video on this before. Eddie, maybe we should link up right on the YouTube channel, the extra video that we really go deep on this. But you want to present a 3-price strategy. Now, you might alter the language a little bit, but consider this. The average agent walks in and says, here's the comps, here's what's sold, and here's what's pending, and here's what's going on, right? And that's okay, right? I mean, it's what we've always done, but you're different. You're a gamer. Remember the last video? You're a rock star. You're building something special. You're doing something special. So you've got to have degrees of separation. You've got to have an obvious, well, you know, she was the only one that gave us the 3 prices versus everybody else gave us 1. So consider, you ready? Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we have to decide tonight in the marketing of your property, when we unveil the home and do everything we're going to do to have the world see your house, most importantly, the 15,000 avatar that I showed you on Facebook, we have to decide what pricing strategy we're going to choose to get you the highest possible sale for your home. So number 1 is the bidding war or frenzy price strategy. And this is where we know homes are selling at a price range of X or a per square footage of Y. And we just price it slightly below that. And then guess what happens? I turn on the marketing and everybody goes, oh my goodness, it's a deal. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, generally speaking, when people think there's a deal and they hear that there's multiple buyers writing offers on this property, what do you think happens to the price? Exactly. Well, option number 2 is we go right at fair market value and we simply look at the comps and we see the price trends and we price it perfectly, and those properties sell in this market very quickly as well. And then obviously you might say to me, but Tom, we're really looking for you to find the needle in the haystack. Now, I could say it that way. I don't know if you've got the swagger to say it that way, but you know, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, many of my clients say to me, Tom, we want you to find the needle in the haystack. We want you to price the property that's going to break every record ever in our community. And we just have to decide tonight, in order to maximize your price and get it done in the time frame you want, what's the right pricing strategy for you? Now again, I'd watch the deeper video I did on this to really go deep here, but understand, like, there's a lot of meat here. There's a lot that you can do immediately to make little tweaks and adjustments to have you stand out, and that's the game. All right, here's the final few. Number 8, the money shot. Ready? You got to earn your fees. Now, this is a big one. You ready? This is where we've seen tens of thousands of agents, you know, in North America, and for my European clients, you guys know it's a little bit different. My Australian clients, you guys know it's different too. But in North America, there's this compression of commissions happening every single day, and yet great people like you say, wait a minute, if I can't negotiate my own fees, How can I negotiate the final sales price for them? I've got to be stronger, so I've got to present a better case. I've got to show my value. So what do? You create the upside down pyramid and you say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, when we're deciding on commission, you've got to look at two different numbers. First, there's the side that the agent that lists the home, who's going to spend all the money and the time and the energy marketing and servicing the property. What do they charge? We charge 3%, and we do all of this marketing, and we have to decide tonight, what would you like to offer to the buy side? What would you like to offer to the buy side? And at this point, because they've probably never seen this before, they're going to scratch their heads and say, well, what do you recommend? We were kind of thinking 5%. How does that work? What if we only offer 2 over here? What happens? What if we, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? And you might want to say to them, well, again, the bigger the funnel, the more potential buyers and most importantly, agents that might be working with those buyers, they're going to see your property. So if this says 3%, it's going to elicit a certain emotional response for all those agents when they're looking inside the MLS at looking at your home versus showing another one, where 2.75 or 2.5 or 2 might elicit a different response. So we charge 3%. What would you like to offer the other side? So you can spend a lot of time on this one, and I certainly encourage you to do so. Many of our clients will take this sheet, they'll put it on their own branded logo, etc., and they might even laminate it and bring 3 or 4 copies, so when they go out on a presentation, they actually physically hand a copy to the seller and say, again, here's why you're hiring me. I do all of this marketing, we charge 3%. What would you like to offer the other side? That's powerful. That's a game-changing idea for you. Now, number nine, if you can't handle the objections, you don't deserve the listing. That's right, I said it. If you're going to walk out of that presentation scratching your head saying, why am I talking scratching your head so much? But you know what I mean. Like if you walk out of that presentation with kind of the age-old line I used to teach a million years ago where I'd say, every real estate professional that goes on a listing presentation has 4 presentations. The first presentation is the one they make in their head on the drive over. I'm going to say this and I'm going to do this. Then there's the second presentation, the one they actually make, blah, right? The stuff that comes out. Then there's the third presentation, the one you make in your car on your drive back to the office, like I should have said this and I missed that and I should have closed. And then there's the fourth one, the one you lie and tell your broker. Oh, I said this, 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 and this, but they were kind of jerky. If you're not handling the objections, if you're not asking for the order, if you're not helping them make an informed and educated decision, you're not doing your job. There's only one presentation that matters, and it's you leaving it all on the table right there in the moment of truth. It's the bottom of the ninth, the bases are loaded, and this is your chance to win. This is your opportunity to shine, and you and I both know if you walk out, some knucklehead can walk in and get that listing, put it in the MLS and sell it in 2 seconds, and everything you did to get to that moment because you didn't handle the objection, you didn't close, was for nothing. You with me on this? So handle their objections. I mean, it's not like there's anything new. We want to start at a higher price. We need to think it over. We're talking to another agent. We need to pray. Whatever it is, like you got to do and manage whatever it is, handle the objection and close. Because if you leave without it, you know what happens. Now, because it's episode 10, and I know it's a long one. I was actually trying to think 10 minutes, but I couldn't do it. Ready? Number 10, and the last final point. If you don't get it, what are you going to do in terms of follow-up? And my recommendation is you shoot a video, you send it a handwritten card, right? But probably the best thing you can do is give them an assignment. Look, I know that you guys are considering you're talking to other agents. I just want to encourage you, I want to remind you, go to Zillow.com. Pull up my reviews and then go to any other agent you're talking to and considering and read their reviews. Because at the end of the day, if you have a choice between, a great brain surgeon, someone that does it all day, every day and has a big track record of success, and someone else that maybe is just getting started, or somebody else that maybe doesn't have reviews, you might begin to, even if you don't like me as much, you might realize who you work with really matters. So that's it. It's episode 10 in the can. Thank you so much for watching. Do me a favor, I know I didn't say it earlier, but give me some comments. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what you're thinking about. Ask some questions. How can I help? I want to keep making this as relevant and real and valuable to you. And for all of you that have been posting on Facebook or sending me messages on Twitter or just via email and text and everything else, you know how much I appreciate you. Thank you. Remember always, your strategy matters, and now more than ever, your passion rules. Thanks for watching. If you love what you're seeing here, then click the button below to to join our online community absolutely free. Thanks so much.